Welcome back into the Blurred Wire. It is your host, King Whale, and we are back at it again talking about the latest Thunderbolts trailer. So this reaction video, I'm going to try to keep it a little quick and more concise as I live react to it right here so you guys can watch. I've already seen it a couple of times, and so I'll talk a little bit about my theories for what this could mean for the plot of the movie. And of course, leave your thoughts down below and whatever you think about it. And without further ado, let's get into this trailer.
Let's talk facts. The Avengers are not coming. Who will keep the American people safe?
There's some big threat out there, and you are gonna help me stop it.
Wait, us?
Yeah, you. Why, you got someplace to be?
I love that guy.
So none of us comply? So what, do we all just punch and shoot?
I can't think of a worse group of people trying to work together.
Stop! Speed! John, stop!
Where
Where are you?
Everyone here has done bad things. You can't escape the past. Hey, it's like your mind is somewhere else.
So you can do something about it now, or live with it forever.
This could get messy.
No shit. You thought you were gonna be some great saviors? You can't even save yourself.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
Okay, that was really good.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you.
This has makings of team that can rise to glory. Bring light from the darkness. This team can be the heroes on the Wheaties box. With a little giddy toy.
Alexei, have you slept?
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I'd like not to die today, so maybe somebody else should be driving.
Okay, so that was the trailer for Marvel's Thunderbolts, the second trailer for it. And of course, they aired it during the Super Bowl. Well, aired a clip of it, and you had to go watch the full thing online, as Marvel does, because, why pay for a minute ad when I can put a 15-second ad and make everyone go online to watch it and get paid, millions of dollars for the millions of views that it's going to rack up, because that's how YouTube works now. It's so, I must be the only one that thinks, this is how crazy the industry has gone. Back to Thunderbolts and the trailer and what it could mean. So when I was watching this movie, I was very nervous because the characters are all pretty campy sometimes, especially Red Guardian. I know David Harbour likes playing him, but he tends to fall a lot. And the projects that all these characters come from are all excessively mediocre, right? 3 of the characters come from Black Widow. I did not like what they did with Black Widow. I did not like that movie. 2 of the characters come from, and then there's John Walker from Falcon of the Winter Soldier. Again, that project was okay. And then you have from Ant-Man and the Wasp, the second one, you have Ghost. And so again, all those characters are just all the movies they come from. It's not like they're coming from the only character that's from a really good movie is Bucky. And that's because he's been in all of the really good movies, Winter Soldier, Civil War, all the Russo brothers films. So it's a little bit concerning isn't the right word, but it's it's hard to get excited, right, about mediocre. I don't think the characters themselves may not be mediocre, but it's hard to get excited about characters from mediocre films. But the one thing that had me most excited about this movie was Sentry, aka The Void. And Sentry is one of my favorite Marvel characters because there's a comic storyline that if you're interested in comics, you should really read it. And it's the new Avengers. And to set the stage, The Void is a Avengers and Fantastic Four and X-Men level threat. Like there was a comic run where he was fighting, the Void was fighting the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and the X-Men, right? And Emma Frost had to go into this whole thing into Bob Reynolds' mind to help him. And in the comics, Bob Reynolds has schizophrenia, and that is so then when he gets superpowers, that having that disease ends up unlocking this crazy persona called the Void, and he's this dark, shadowy figure whose powers in the comics are kind of ambiguous. You know, it's like super strength, shadow manipulation, darkness manipulation, and it looks like that's kind of the direction they're going here. And again, in the comics, he's usually portrayed as this big monster, and it looks like this one he'll just be like a dark, shadowy figure. Which either way, I still love. I love watching his powers of turning people into shadows. And the main thing that I'm still interested in that I'm like I'm gonna have to watch this movie to see how is even based upon the comics or the way every like the Thunderbolts, while there's six of them or seven of them, depending on how you count it, they are no match for the Void, right? And so, first of all, I'm glad to see that they're going to do the Void and he's actually going to be a villain because I was kind of worried that they were going to introduce Sentry, but like really dumb down his powers. Um, but it looks like they're not doing that, so I'm okay with that. But I also was like if I was doing the Void, he would be the Void and Sentry would be like that would be my next Avengers movie, and I would have the Void be like the villain. So the fact that he's not, or the fact that he's going against the Thunderbolts is like he could kind of mop the floor with any of them. It definitely feels like. So we will see what happens. I'm very curious to see how they'll defeat him because the way they did it in the comics, of course, you had to have a telepath like Emma Frost to help heal the broken shatters in Bob's mind because they realized they couldn't physically overpower the Void. So obviously they're going to realize they can't physically overpower the Void because like, and I like how they addressed it in the trailer where Yelena's like, okay, straight up, all we can do is punch and shoot. Like we don't have any powers here that are going to help us take down this monstrosity thing. So, and it looks like Valentina is kind of be like a dual villain role. Like I think Valentina will be like the mastermind and the puppet and the villain, and I think she'll end up going down at the end of this film. But all of that's going to lead to a climax against the Void, and I don't know how they're going to do it, but somehow they're going to have to defeat him. And they didn't give that away in the trailer, which I think is good. I think Disney did the right blend of getting people excited, right, and not giving away too much in the trailer because we want to see the Void, we want to see the villain and how powerful he's going to be, and the way he's just like a black shadow up in the sky looks awesome. But also, we don't want to know how they're going to defeat him, right? And we don't want to know what exactly is going to happen. We need enough to like whet our appetites and then get us there to March. Because the Captain America leaks are starting to go crazy. I'm not seeing it till next Tuesday, not this Tuesday coming up, but next Tuesday. So we'll see. But you got to be really careful now because there's a lot of stuff out there for Captain America. So if you're a fan of the MCU and you don't like stuff to be spoiled, I think this trailer is still safe. Some people only watch like the first two trailers, but I think this trailer is still safe. You could still watch it and not come away be like, oh, it was ruined. But for me, yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do with Sentry. I'm really excited to see what they do with the Void and see ultimately how it will all play out. My initial prediction is that a lot of people were talking like this might be Bucky's last movie, for Sebastian Stan playing Bucky, and I think that would be accurate. I could, because Bucky's been in it since 2011, since Captain America, the first Avenger. So I could see this being, the last run as Bucky as Sebastian Stan. He might sacrifice himself in a heroic way, and this would be a good way for him to go out. And I also noticed that in the climax scenes, we don't see a lot of Taskmaster, right? So that makes me think that Taskmaster, she might be one of the first casualties of Sentry. It seems like, because like all the trailers, like she's there for a lot of the movie, and then at that point, she's not there, right? And I'm like, the only person who could maybe do something would be Ghost, because she's the only one with like actual powers. But again, I'm like, what would she do to a black void like shape, like just pass through it and like he can do the same thing to her. You know what I mean? So it's like I said, I am looking forward to see it. It'll probably be some kind of weapon or technology or something they have to do. Or maybe they have to like, split Bob from his persona and the Sentry will have to fight the Void, which would be really cool. But either way, I think excellent is kind of strong for me to say like it's going to be excellent, but I am more excited for it than I was before. And I am looking forward to checking it out because again, Sentry in the Void is one of my favorite Marvel Comics characters. And it looks like they're gonna at least attempt to do him justice. So let me know your thoughts. Are you more or less excited for this trailer? Do you have any theories around it or anything that might suggest how exactly everything's gonna go down? My theory is that I think Valentina knows about Sentry and sent them all to break him out. She's thinking she can control the Sentry power, but she can't. And my big question is when she says the Avengers are not coming, and I don't know if Captain America, like they're gonna say like I'll help you rebuild the Avengers in Captain America, Brave New World, but there's a reason why it has to come out first. So either like I don't know if the Avengers like if he ends up saying no, I'm not gonna help you rebuild the Avengers, um, which I mean might happen if Harrison Ford's Red Hulk, Thaddeus Ross turns into a giant Hulk monster. Sam might decide not to rebuild the Avengers, but it's also kind of like where are the Avengers? Because we've introduced all these characters. Like is She Hulk around? Is Shang Chi around? Captain Marvel, she came to Earth and then she went to space and then she came back to Earth. So is she in space again now? All these questions about where are the Avengers and what are they doing right now. I don't know if Captain America is going to answer them, and I don't know if Thunderbolts is going to answer them. Like right now, the only reason I could say that the Avengers aren't really around is because Marvel hasn't made an Avengers movie. Like we don't really have like a good reason other than that. So yeah, looking forward to seeing if we get that. But like I said, leave your thoughts. Let me know what you thought. Thank you guys so much for joining.